Welcome to your known unknown, where Source and I will help to shed light on what's unknown for you. What's up, Scorpio? This is for your sign for this new moon in Aquarius energy. Little on time for the draw, but this message is coming out now for you, and I hope it finds you well. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Let's into it. Let's pull some cards for you today, Scorpio. Angels, spirits, guides, ancestors, universe, source, divine, creator, higher self, true heart, all that I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Show us what we need to see here. Let's see what Scorpio needs to see for this new moon and Aquarius energy. What kind of chapters are opening up for us? It's very interesting energy here right now. Very peaceful, very channeled. We did a very nice meditation on the cards before pulling them tonight. We have a Princess of Wands and the Fool card. Ooh. With the Moon card. I knew it was going to get weird tonight. I knew it was going to get weird tonight, Scorpio. Scorpio, it's like you're stepping into you're stepping through with your intuition. Knowing it's your power. These energies opening up to you are signifying your natural innate ability to the connection of the unknown, and you're riding that wave. You're flying through it. You have the opportunity to fly through it. Or you have the opportunity to retreat. So we have exploration, beginnings, the moon, and retreat. Sort of like your intuition will be guiding you to explore more inwards. You'll be able to connect more to it. Your curiosity will kill that cat, you know? You'll be intrigued with connections aligning. This power by the planets right now, this whole energy that's been flowing through me, us, has been bold. It's been very established in a sense. It's been very honoring to our choices, to my choices, the decisions that we make, the new beginnings that we're stepping into, that our intuition has guided us to step into. we finally are having an opportunity to explore that new territory with ourselves. It's not necessarily an energy of external relationship. I don't know a better word for that. The contrasting energy was the Tower, and supportive energy was Wheel of Fortune. And that's telling me that, like, it's not it's not a misfortune. It's not a tower. It's cultivating a better experience for you, better karma, better dharma. This is stupid. What? Let's see what we can watch out for in this. Let's see where we can step it up. I'm sorry. Wrong deck. Where we can step this up. What can we focus on to work towards this? Let's deduce deeply. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Show me what we need to see. Alright, well. Step it up and maybe some shadow work. Grieving shadow work. Shadow work related to grieving, we should say. Three of Swords. It's the hopeful energy of that. Just healing. Healing your heart. That would be a good focus. What heals your heart? For me, healing my heart is taking care of my vehicle, myself, and my car, but my vehicle, self, my being, my divine instrument to connect with, right, Scorpio? That's what heals my heart. And it's tough. It's tough to live when you live this life and you're used to this life and something wants to disrupt that, especially something that affects how you're feeling, you know? That's never fun. That's never fun. Queen of Wands reverse. You can quit trying to, like, protect yourself, so to say, in a way that's, like, passionately driven, scandalous, you know? That would benefit yourself, your healing nature. It would allow you a sense of pride and dignity, but let alone nurturement of self Four of Wands. Really finding value in your closer relationships, your closer situations. You know, don't go broaden your horizons just because you're bored or addicted to a thrill. You know, you got to heal. you got to experience the boredom and the silence, really. And you got to be realistic with yourself and accountable with yourself in that process. Like, even for me, it's tough. I'll tell myself all the time, you know, I monk mode all the time, you know, when really am I just bored and like out of something to do? No, I don't know. It's situational. But this isn't about me. This is about you. And really just the wholesomeness of aligned living, so to say. And I'm not going to lie, that kind of put a weird taste in my Scorpio moon there. I kind of can feel that, but that is kind of what works. It stabilizes, you know. In all realness, in all realness, Scorpions probably just have a pretty routine life. Go out, hunt, come back, sleep, molt. I think they molt. It's a pretty routine life, I think. And that's what's stable. That's what's secure. That's what offers you a relaxation from the chaos that we love to experience, the thrills we love to seek, the stories we want to create from. But if you don't have anybody around you to impress, then you just have yourself that you got to impress. And you do that mentally. You do that in your mind. You do that through meditation. You get to know yourself. Really get to know yourself. The likes and the dislikes. You get familiar with yourself. Throughout the process of getting familiar with yourself, you get familiar with the dislikes too. And it's hard to recognize. You get kind of lost. But yeah, you get kind of disorientated, choked up, emotional, reactive with your stinger, you know. Sometimes we regret things. That's all right. Try not to. If it's a regrettable situation, try not to regret it. It's good to let go of things. It's good to let go of things and like not make it so dramatic too. It doesn't have to be such a heavy emotion in all reality, Scorpio. I know it is for Scorpios a heavy emotion. That's just emotions in general. But they are at the end of it just emotions. And letting the people close to you affect them, like closest to you, affect them to the point where you're actually emotionally exhausted at the end of it and are unable to cultivate stable external relationships because, here's the key, because you're emotionally exhausted. You know? If you weren't aware of it before, that's kind of what you are now. There you go. So you can't really heal and grieve from the past and whatnot if you're so exhausted. It just doesn't work efficiently. So, with the energies here with this new moon, these beginnings of this introspective self-exploration, those are the areas, the things that you can step it up in a little bit to help navigate into the moon. The moon is just subtly underneath them all. I kind of laid them down together, the moon and beginnings, and it's just whispering throughout this whole deck. The moon, the moon, the moon, mystery, arcana, introspection, intuition, divine, like femininity. So I got an extra deck here too, a special little Scorpio deck, kind of called to pull one special card here. I don't know when yet. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I just go where the flow tells me to. How are we navigating into these? I see where we can step this up. I gave my advice. Now you give me your advice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How are we stepping into these? How are we stepping into this new energy, this new beginning? Ten of Cups reversed. I'm just hearing like you're just hanging out, being patient, just awaiting to see what happens. Sorry, I was just thinking here. Yeah, you're like going back and forth. Okay. You're thinking a lot. You're overthinking a lot. You're overthinking a lot, and you're trying to stay positive, and that's cool. That's good. That does work. Just keep trying to stay positive. Keep trying to see the light, especially when it's dim out. Especially when it's dim out. And that's where we practice emotional control. So, there are two different departments to research and like to study in and apply to your reality. Is emotional control and understanding, intelligence, and patience. Patience. Anyways. I'm sorry. I start thinking and then I get on a roll. I get on a tangent. Overthinking. But on the positive side, not negatively overthinking. I mean, yeah, you're definitely like, oh, these are what ifs. But hey, it's kind of like you're afraid of thinking negatively so you don't accidentally manifest negative stuff in your life. Yeah, kind of doesn't work that way. I mean, if you really believe it does, it does. But does it? Does it work that way? It does work. Oh, okay, it does work that way. My bad. It does work that way. It does work that way. All right. Seven of Swords reversed. Thank you. It's a very scorpionic act to do. The Seven of Swords reversed shows a tendency to give up rather than take a stand. It may feel unnatural to you to think like your opponent, to anticipate their next moves, but this attitude will help you defend what is yours. Otherwise, you may surrender too soon. This particularly applies to work. Yeah, but mental actions, though. I love how they're like, it applies to work when a colleague tries to disempower you. That might mean something for somebody. I just think that's very specific. Back and forth and back and forth, and you're like, should I quit? Should I give up? Should I give up? But what should you give up? What is it that you're afraid of giving up here? What are we afraid of giving up? What are we giving up? Maybe not afraid. What are we going back and forth with giving up on? Mindful. Just mindfulness. Are you just gonna throw your hands up in the air and say, fuck it, Scorpio, I'm going back to my old self? Going back and forth about that? You're like, should I give up? Should I stop this all this crap? No, you shouldn't stop all the crap. What happens when you stop all the crap? What happens when you stop all the practice? You start to kind of live in a cycle again. And that's not fun. Yes, ascending is hard work. Discipline and integrity and growth, yeah, they're tough. They're honorably rewarding, but they're tough. And I know Scorpio likes to have fun. Yeah, you see me just sigh right there, like, yeah, I get it. And no, you shouldn't give up. You really shouldn't. Like, what's on the other side of not giving up is so much more fulfilling. Adolescent of Peaches. Go out and get in some nature and be mindful again. Go out and ground and move emotion around yourself. You have a lot of emotion and it needs to be alchemized, grounded, transmuted, whatever you gotta do. They want me to say it can't just be fucked away. Just saying. It actually has to be intentfully removed by self. Also, so many actions that we do can become so desensitized or like tainted or, I don't know, opposite of sacred, cursed. Yeah, one who is irresponsible, impatient, or careless. And I'm hearing impatient as well as being like instant gratification. Gratification. Instant satisfaction kind of thing. Like, you can't live in that lifestyle. It's not sustainable, and it's just shallow and superficial and egoic. It's not what you really are wanting. And so giving up your practices, oh, I see. It's kind of like your intuition allowed you to explore for a little bit and you kind of got freaked out and are retreating back into your old self, and it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel great, but the doors have opened up, the chapters, the energies are opening up and presenting a better self to you if you can apply what you need to apply. If you can begin again to operate from a higher you, so to say. So you got to continue with practices. Self-disciplines. Maybe you were doing really good a while ago and slowly have kind of tapered off. Maybe you were even guided to taper off and unalign. And that's kind of confusing. But first off, your unaligned self is already way more aligned than your previous unalignment was. Okay? So there's that. You already make way better choices and feel way better about yourself than you have your whole life, even when you have shitty days now. So there's that. Just, yes, they're emotional. They're big. They're deep emotions. But you're normalized to them. Well, you can handle it, Scorpio, you know. Barely, but you can handle you. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you're already doing way better than you ever have been. It's kind of like I told my friend the other day, I feel like this is a relative example. But would you rather miss your old self or hate yourself? You kind of don't have another option besides those two. Sorry, Source just won't allow it. It's a tough one to understand, but that's your choices. And I feel like missing our old self is kind of the way we're just going to end up choosing, because I'm not going to hate myself. No, not now. Not now, you ain't. Six of Cups reversed. A lot of this overthinking and a lot of the Three of Swords is relating towards like loss of connection. A lot of grief towards the loss of people and love in your life, and that's very understandable. It's a hard one. That's a tough one because it's deep. How you really help heal that is like the grieving process basically expedites at what are we saying here, Spirit? It's like as soon as you heal yourself, it all starts to make sense and it all starts to heal. As soon as you start to heal yourself, that's how it all starts to heal. As soon as you start to love yourself, as soon as you start to cultivate yourself, make your own choices, and do the things that kind of put you off a little bit in the moment, and then you always are like, is that my authentic self? If you're asking yourself after every time you choose something, is that my authentic self? Then no. That's not your authentic self. But you want to be and you're close, you're seeking it, but you know what you got to do. You know what you have to stand up for. You know what a new boundary for yourself or a new expression of yourself is at this point. There's something about you that you are an embodiment of, or something, some personality trait, some way of communication, something that you've learned, something that you're being called to apply that is a development in yourself. Maybe speaking more truth, maybe opening more of your throat chakra. Maybe learning tricks about things like that. And that's kind of, it's not like it makes the missed memories go away. It's that it makes you excited about something new again. It makes you not feel like giving up. Kind of starts to take that mindset away and just off the table in general. Okay. What demons are there to hold us up for this Scorpionic family? Just straight up the devil, from the devil. Vices, addictions, cyclical habits and patterns, like just Scorpio toxicity. All right, watch out for this. Don't embody this. Don't fall victim to the devils in your life, to your demons. They're not powerful. They're just fun. They're just familiar. Are they even really fun? Like, really? Once you're aware of stuff, you can't unbe aware of stuff. It's just that we're habitualized to things, and we live in such a weird society where our programming makes this kind of shit difficult. You know? If you can retreat positively with the intention of a positive outcome, with like healing intentions or something like that, the outcome is usually on the healing side of the meter. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to drink this beer because I deserve it, No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way on a few different levels, but one of them, just big one being, beer doesn't work that way. It disconnects. It does not connect, you know? There are things like that at play here. So we watch out for our vices, our devils, our lusts, our temptations, our deepest desires, but also our everyday little desires and habits. Those are just as detrimental as the big drastic life choices that were like, oh, we screwed up, or oh shit, I cheated on my partner, or oh my god, what's wrong with me? I can't explain myself to people. It's like, wait a second. How many times are you going to use that story until you can shift that? Like, the universe, I feel, has gifted you so many opportunities to try to shift that, and you're just not applying the one, so it's making it tougher than it really has to be, and you're about ready to give up about it. You're putting yourself in these past mindsets of missed memories, and allowing the depth of emotions that you felt then about those missed memories affect you now. You're kind of doing it to yourself a little bit. Well, a lot of it. But sorry. A lot of it though. And that's like one of the biggest devils for Scorpio in general. Overthinking selfness, like self-awareness. Constantly using society to validate yourself. It's not narcissistic. It's extremely self-aware and psychological. It's a good superpower. It lets you feel the way you feel. We have the Three of Swords again. Get over it. Good God. I don't even want to go down into that. Like, you're falling down into it. It's like you've fallen into these. Be careful of falling into your vices as a crutch to cope with what you're not facing. That's so detrimental. I know it's tough. It's very tough. But, like, there's just this real solid fulfillment to stoically pulling yourself out of the darks of yourself. Yeah, I know, it sucks to hear, but there's something so golden about it. You just have to try it to experience it. You just have to try it. I know I've said stuff like that to my scorpionic friends, and I say that to myself all the time, and I know it's just like a bitter bite. I'm like, ah, you know, because we know it's work we don't want to do. We like to have fun, kind of hedonistic in that sense, but it's that hedonism that gets us unaligned, and also that ultimately sabotages us. Ultimately. Yeah. It's like like I said in the beginning, it's like you're kind of afraid of thinking negatively in order to manifest, like not manifest something negative, but that emotion of like every time you think of something negative and then you become self-aware of it, and then that ping where you're like, oh my god, I'm thinking something bad, I need to shift my thoughts. That's such an intense emotion that you pull back an arrow and let go of real quick. It's just like, think of your emotions as just this quiver, right? This bow. And it's like the quicker ping that's loud just goes and shoots way far. When what you want to do literally with your emotions is learn how to get the thought, ping it, you pull it back, you think about it, and then you release it. And that's how you become more in control of your time and reality. If you ping it and shoot it out, it shoots hella far and way out into the universe, but like way out there in the universe, and somewhere they get it because you just shot the shit out of it, and hell yeah, they got it. It's not a controlled, I'm gonna draw back and then let go where I want it to. Some other energy picks it up and reads that wish, and they're like, I'm gonna give them my best answer, and then they come down to earth, we'll just say, and and they help you out in their way. You don't want to do that. You don't want these pings, because those pings of, oh, I'm having a bad thought, something bad's gonna happen. Well, yeah, something bad's gonna happen. You're having a really intense emotion, and then you're setting it and then forgetting it shortly after. That's how you manifest. Set it and forget it. You're doing that with negativity too. You have to not be so afraid. You have to really start to do whatever it takes to not be so afraid. And what I'm hearing is face your damn fears. Face what's not fun. Do that for a little bit, because that's the door that's opening up. And if you can do that just a little step at a time, like right now in this message, if you're still here, it just becoming aware of it is step one. Step two is desiring to want to shift that. It's just like, oh man, I love what he's saying, and I see how it's possible. That would be cool. Yeah, that's step two. Congratulations. You're doing it. Step three, say, universe, that'd be cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I accept that, with ease and grace. Thank you. Love you too. And then you set it and forget it. That's why the intensity of the emotion is so important. Now, if you think of the way you would feel then, and feel as excited about having $1 million as you would feel here then in the future, now, then set it now and forget it. It's really that simple. It's just hard, actually. It's difficult to actually do it. It's difficult to feel an intense emotion of something that you can't really believe. See, you have to believe it first. That's the hard thing to do. Scorpio is so emotionally driven, which means their thoughts stem from emotions, which means their thoughts are just so vivid as well. But it's really their body explaining emotions to them, that the thoughts and visions and feelings that we're thinking we're having are really just the words that the person is trying to express to the consciousness. And that's how we're what is it? What's the damn term, dude? And as always, watch out for overindulging on superiority, but as well, like spiritual bypassing. Yeah. Be careful with spiritual bypassing. I don't remember the terms that these people have used for this kind of behavior. It was very appropriate and very proper. Felt like there was like a sacred name of somebody that does kind of unintentionally and unawarely spiritual bypass. It's like you're learning and becoming more aware of how egoic we really are. And that's the truth that's unfolding. And yes, it makes us feel worse and worse about ourselves. But just be patient, because if you practice, it's about the journey. Just remember that. Like, I'm hearing this too shall pass. So easily, this too shall pass. Whatever is going through, and it coming through as well. And it's not a bad thing. I'm kind of impressed that the Hanged Man hasn't popped up yet. It's not a bad energy and doorway to step into, because it's deepening your connection to yourself. It's actually kind of like, hey, the path is dark. It did freak you out. You want to retreat back into either old self, or the doors are opening up to connect deeper through your intuition. You want to go explore into those introspective depths and retreat from inside. But you have overwhelming thoughts. You're aware of the challenges ahead of you, because you've experienced them like this the whole time. Like, throughout the past year, you've kind of nudged along. It's like you've always been here, and then at the beginning of the year you start there, and then you advance a little further, but you're always set back to this. It feels like it always feels like you're getting set back to the same damn spot, right? Well, this year is different, especially with this new moon in Aquarius. This is completely different. Things are different now. We've paid our karmic debts as energies move out of Capricorn into Aquarius. Things are different. So expect differences. If we live in the past, we will stay in the past. If we can live off of hope and faith, good things will prove themselves to us as they materialize and actualize and crystallize. So there's really no need for like any form of spiritual bypassing, but not to such a heavy degree that term offers too. I'm saying like look, practicality is a real magical path to walk down, hedge witches and such. Completely, like, I can relate. But there's also an awareness to understanding that you are a divine vessel, and your actions in every breath offer divinity within it. And I liked to get sweet coffees up here, just like getting that mocha choca frappuccino in the morning. Ain't that spiritual thing to do? Getting that matcha latte at Starbucks, ain't that spiritual? If you want to promote yourself as spiritual, if you want to flaunt yourself. Otherwise, it's an egoic thing. It's very false. You don't have to be this and be in yoga pants all day long, or have dreadlocks, or you don't have to look the part. You could look at a gosh darn full-on cowboy, and I guarantee you he's way more grounded than a lot of city dwelling gurus and yogis that I've met, or more like yuppies and townies that I've met, that talk all about chakras and crystals because they know the stuff, but they don't know shit. And this cowboy has his life together, or she, cow woman, has this life together, their life together, and is disciplined, is stoic, is capable, is in their better sense of self. They're more experienced. That's it. They're more confident than the other people who, if you get thrown out of their element and they can't use their cell phone, they have no fucking idea what they're doing. That's not a spiritually driven being. Now, I'm not saying that they're not spiritual or like can feel or connect or anything like that. I'm just saying that they're not living authentically. It's like this weird veil of spiritually bypassing via egoic self. And it's not bad because it's still yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. Just be weary of it. That's all I'm saying. The cards are saying that. Be weary of your lust, passions, desires, addictions. Try to pull yourself out of them and try to honor them as well. Honor the fact that they've existed and no longer need to, and we want them out. But being patient with ourselves. 51:15 on the clock. Be patient with ourselves. That's a good change. That's a change of pace, isn't it? Being patient with ourselves. We're trying something new, aren't we, Scorpio? It's not like what we used to do is just go cold turkey, right? Oh, it's ride or die, all or nothing. And all of a sudden, we're going, wait, we don't have to ride or die. We can actually wean out of things. As long as we actually just wean out of things and we don't use it as some stupid fucking excuse to cycle more and more and more and torture ourselves and imprison ourselves mentally a little more and more. No, we don't want to do that. We actually want to conquer our vices, our habits, bad habits, ourselves. We want to conquer ourselves. We want to control our emotional self. Like, you ever can just catch your body just doing some random thing and you're like, why am I doing that? It's because your body has a consciousness of its own, pretty much. And not allowing it to control your mind, allowing your mind to actually control it, is the discipline that we're working towards. How you achieve that? Working out, making yourself get up early, taking cold showers, drinking water, eating healthy. It's controlling your body. You know, don't let the cravings tell you what's up. You tell it what's up. You go, no, we're going to bed. I know you feel like you want to stay up, but no, we're going to bed. Or, ooh, I want pizza tonight. No, we don't want pizza. We want something better. What else do we want? No, I want pizza. That's all I'm going to say because that's all I can feel. Well, we're not getting pizza, so now I'm confused. What are we going to get? Oh my God, I might as well just give up and get a pizza. No. What's the next thing? Okay. Salad again. Okay. Dang it. One more night of discipline. We're eating a salad again. Doesn't just have to be a salad. We can do something else. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the mindsets that we're working with. And yeah, it's kind of like that. Anyways, we are complete here with this reading. These are the energies for you if you so choose to accept. Scorpio, this is deep. We're going to take a deep breath to disconnect, to integrate these energies, lock them in, hold at the top. Just join with me if you would, please. We are complete. Thank you, Scorpio, for receiving me. And until next time, much love.